Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K, the 4 units getting played. Always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty all picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the air screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking money.
And here we go.
You on mute, Sharpie?
I guess I was. That's what happened when you take fat dabs, guys. Welcome to the Balking Dead, where there is no sleep for the wicked. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Monday. It's not any Monday, fellas. We got aces on the bump today, and it's really like an early birthday present to me. So let's get to the money, fellas. Of course, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSports. On your first deposit, they will match you up to 100, minimum of 25, simply by using that promo code PUBSports. As you already know by watching this show, guys, we got another sponsor, Bibee. Not Doobie, even though Sharpie needs to probably smoke one and not a dab, but Bibee, guys, it's a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. And by scanning the QR code on your screen, you will get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code in the world. That is Pub Sports, of course. Shout out to the chat, guys. Appreciate you all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the whole wide world, Big Show Picks. Y'all know the drill. Hit the like if you haven't already. Make sure you have them notification bells on. And let's get to the damn money. On this show, guys, we use FanDuel lines for our lines because they tend to come out first. Then we compare them to what PrizePicks has up. We have so much to talk about. And if you don't know, I'm one of those weird guys who actually writes or types everything that he wants to say. And I wrote essays today, guys. I mean, my English teacher would have been proud. So grab your notebooks. I wanted action on all these guys. And time permitting, we're going to get in onto a couple more. So we've got 9 guys to get in on today. So let's let Sharpie shut up and just get to the money. Number 86 in the black book, Tanner Bibee versus the Tigers. Spelled Bibee, but we will pronounce his name the right way on the show. Bibee. He gets the Tigers, guys. 2022 AA and single A ball. He had a 31.5 K percentage and a 5.6 walk percentage. In the majors, 2 starts, guys, 30.2 K percentage with a 0 walk percentage. Now, do I expect the 0 to stay there? No, but maybe versus these LT Grays. But let's get into it. First, AA, single A ball. Does it worry me that he didn't pitch AAA? Negative, Nancy, guys. All the good talents in AA. Shout out to my guy, Noli Knows. It's not a surprise to have a pitcher get bumped from double to straight pros, guys. Means the guy's ready. And obviously Cleveland thought he was ready. And we've been on him as well, guys, because the kid was ready. So opening line was 6+ -112. Now at a -102. 6 on a PrizePicks. And earned run pitching outs was at 17. His pitching outs was at 17 and a half. Projected lineup is 5 righties, 4 lefties for your Tigers. 2023, very, very small sample size. He has a 7.4 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and a whopping 12.3 versus the right-handed side. Good old Tanner Bibee, baby. A true 4-pitch pitcher, guys. We have happened to make money off of him in both of his starts so far. And by the numbers, has a great, great matchup. The Tigers are walking below league average, striking out at a 26% clip, and middle of the pack batting average and bottom 8 in all power departments. So, Sharpie, this is a smash spot, right? Well, yes and no. The only issue I was having in this game was it was showing rain, and that was last night, guys, so that did put me on pause. Now the weather looks amazing, and no rain involved till later on tonight, so let's talk Tanner Bibee. Now, is it a overreaction, number one, is the first question we got to bring up, that they jumped him to a 5.5 after 2 games? No, guys, they did do it with Taj after his 2 starts, and people like dumb fucks just bet Taj Bradley down to a 4.5. So we doubled up on him. So no, it's not an overreaction after the 3rd game. He's showing what he's able to do, and the books need to adjust to it, especially with these Tigers numbers. Now, why haven't you said you're on him yet, Sharpie? Well, the only issue with me, guys, is I wanted at least 5 righties like they were projecting, and anything else I'd take in for even better. So let's talk about his first 2 starts in the big league. He got up against the Rockies, guys. The Rockies, they were not hitting, and they were striking out at a 24% clip. And he went out there and hit 8 strikeouts. They did have 6 right-handed bats in that 24% K percentage. Second game, guys, was versus the Yankees. And the walk and K percentage numbers said no. They were both good in that department. But why we got on him in that spot is we were able to project him to go 6 innings because the Yankees weren't hitting for the life of him. And he went 6 innings versus 5 righties and 4 lefties from the Yankees, where their numbers said no in the strikeout department. And he went and got 5 through 6 innings. So I get it, guys, if you already got in on the kid, guys. This kid has been special. And all I asked for was 5 right-handed bats to take this 5.5. And they gave me it. It's not a projected lineup no more, guys. We got the 5 right-handed bats, 4 lefties with these trash-ass numbers to go with it. I am on Tanner Bibee today, 5.5 minus 102. Thank you, baseball gods. And hi-ya, there's the first one down. We tend to have a lot. So let's get into the second guy. Shout out to the chat. 47 live, only 29 likes. Smash the like button if you like what you're hearing. Number 15 in the black book, Shane McClanahan at the Orioles. Last year, he had a 30.3 K percentage and a 5.9 walk percentage. This year, 31.7 K percentage and a 9.9 walk percentage. Opening line was 7+ minus 120. Closing line is now at minus 122. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6.5, whereas earned runs are under over 1.5. Projected lineups for your birds: 7 righties, 2 lefties. K per 9 last year, 10.9 at home, 10 strikeouts on the road. Lefties and righties, he had a 9.2 versus the left-handed side last year and a 10.7. Well, this year, he's got an 11.1 versus the left-handed side and 11.5 versus the right-handed side. Shane McClanahan has actually gotten better, which is crazy to say it. So, Shane McDaddy-O had a farm. K, and on his farm he had a bird, and today he struck them out. Yes, this may be, guys, my favorite person on this whole show to talk and bet besides Spencer Strider. And what I mean by that is this man has done nothing but win us money on money on money. Every time we bet Shane McClanahan, guys, like this guy has been nothing but fire. And I mean, the one time he didn't hit his over on his strikeout prop this year was a back-to-back where they jumped him up off one, and we stayed off of him, guys. So Shane McClanahan over the past 2 years has been one of the best guys to bet on, at least for us or me on this show. So let's get right into it. Yeah. So let's talk. I talked last week, guys. Shane McClanahan, he opened up at 6.5 at a minus 150 last week. He got steamed down to the minus 110 range, guys. And I told you that, and I got DM'd by a few who said, thank you, that they smashed it is the value. Minus 150, guys, you've got to pay attention to the juice. He is a guy I would normally pay mass amount of juice for in certain situations. The situation he was in last week and the situation he's in this week by the numbers do not warrant minus 150 juice, guys. And that's why when they opened them up at minus 120 last night, I stared at it for an hour before I finally pulled the trigger, guys. And let me get into it, guys. Let's talk about it. Woo-wee. If we look at the Orioles numbers, they are elite to say the least. Elite. So what are you doing, Sharpie, taking this man's over 6.5 minus 120 when you're telling me they're elite? They're walking at a 9.2%. They're not striking out, best in the league at a measly 17%. They're top 10 average in OPS and middle of the pack ISO. And yes, I'm on Shane McClanahan over. What the hell's wrong with you, Sharpie? Lots of things, guys, but let's decipher this shit a little bit. McClanahan has gone up versus 6 teams over the last 2 seasons with elite walk-in strikeout numbers since last year. 3 times this year alone. Toronto, 8.6 with a 17.7 strikeout percentage. White Sox, the first time of the back-to-back, he had a 10.8 walk percentage with a 19.1 strikeout percentage. And then the Pirates last week, guys, where they had an 11.3 walk percentage with a 15.6 strikeout percentage. Those were just 3 of the 6 games, guys. And I'm combining them from last year and looking at the book. And McClanahan is 5-1 to the over 6.5, averaging 9.2 strikeouts a game, guys, in this spot, guys. And I've got to take my guy. The juice and the value right here is good for going up against the type of numbers that the Orioles have. They are legit type of numbers, but good pitching beats good hitting. And this man is on another level as he's shown. He shows up versus these teams that can hit, guys. He is 5-1 to the over, averaging 2.7 more strikeouts than what they're averaging me here, guys. I talk about needing 1.5 for wiggle room all the time. I got me 2.7 in this spot, and I didn't have to pay wild ass juice because the Orioles have been good, guys. But who have they faced in the last 15 days? That's in my book. That's a lefty, or not even 15. Let's just go back to the 200 plate appearances, guys. Max Fried. Oh, he might have got hit, but he did get 7. And I think this guy's even better than Max Fried. So at the end of the day, I'm on Shane McClanahan. The numbers say fucking no, Sharpie, no. But last week I broke some rolls. I did go up against the numbers a few times, but they weren't my hogs, guys. They weren't my dogs. And I talked about you need to learn from your losses more than your wins. I've got to trust my hogs, guys, and this guy is one of my hogs, and I will ride this guy. He's shown me he can pitch well in these situations, so Shane McDaddy-o, baby, is my second bet of the day. Now, here is one that I may regret, but I don't think I will, guys. This right here is what I would consider like to put your mortgage on, my best bet of the day. And it's already moved, and I don't give a damn about the juice, guys. I told my people this is a ladder spot if you want a ladder, guys. Let's talk about last year's number 1 in the Black Book, this year number 10, Dylan Cease at the Royals. 2022, he had a 30.4 K percentage with a 10.4 walk percentage. This year, he has a 26.2 K percentage and an 11.6 walk percentage. Opening line last night was 6+ minus 128. He is now at a minus 148. Earned runs under over is at 2.5. Projected lineup for your Royals is 5 lefties and 4 righties. K per 9 last year, 11.2 at home, 11.1 on the road. Goes back multiple years. This guy's pretty much the same no matter who he faces. Lefties, righties last year, 10.3 versus the left-handed side and 11.8 versus the right-handed side. Get into this year, he's striking out lefties at a 10.7 and righties at 11.3 K per 9. So, oh my God, oh boy, Cease is at a 5.5. This has got to be a trap, right? Negative. I said it last week, guys. They jumped him up 2 strikeouts on a back-to-back versus the Rays when he should have been a 5.5. Like, go back to last episode, guys. I said it then. I said it. And I don't jump and chase numbers, so I didn't bet him versus the Twins because they jumped him up. And they finally put him at the number where the man belongs. And granted, guys, this will be the last time we see this man at a 5.5. So let's talk about Dylan Cease. Cease's average is less 10 games, guys, is at 5.5. 40% win percentage, guys. So to be honest, I paid juice and I knew they were going to tax me for it, guys. And it should be even money. I paid minus 128 and I was willing to pay the juice on it, guys. Just not the whole extra number, but no bullshit. Even if you're not cool with the minus 148 or you have an offshore, take the extra number up right here, guys. This is the type of spot where Dylan Cease is going to remind the whole damn world who he is. We get a spot from the gods after Cease started the year 2-0 over on his strikeout prop. Then to lose 5 straight. First loss, guys, they jumped him to a 7.5 after his first 2 starts of 8 and 10 strikeouts. And that loss, the third time up, the numbers said stay away. So I didn't play him. Then he played the Orioles, guys, where the numbers said no, especially the 11% walk percentage rate that they were carrying into the game, which can be a bugaboo for Cease, guys. As we all knew, this man can walk a lot of people. Then he had a back-to-back with the best team in the game at the moment, who held Garrett, Cole, Hunter Green, and so on to their unders. So no harm, no foul versus the Rays to me, guys. Then last week, he got the Twins, where the numbers said no, guys. They jumped him up 2 strikeouts, and we talked about it because what Kopech did to him the night before. And he missed it again. Well, that's how we get a 5.5, fellas, on one of the best strikeout pitchers in the fucking game. Now, if we look at the Royals numbers, guys, they're not walking, which is a beauty when we come to Cease. They're striking out near the 24% clip. And over the past 2 weeks, who have they been hitting? I don't fucking know, guys. I haven't played too many guys versus these guys because they ain't had nobody, guys. The only guys that we track that's played these guys in the last 15 days is Pablo Lopez, who hit his over 6.5, and Mason Miller yesterday, who hit his over 5.5. The only one to miss, guys, was Grayson Rodriguez, guys, who does have an issue striking out lefties. Well, Cease don't have that problem, guys. Cease has always struck out lefties at a good clip, 10.7 K per 9 or higher. Just on math alone, guys, this guy's going to hit this in 5 innings of work. You take in the numbers, we're right there at 5 innings of work. This guy's having a monster day today, guys. Taking past history last year, guys, played the Royals 3 different times. 2 lineups, 5 lefties, 4 righties. The other time, 6 righties, 3 lefties for the one game. Never did the numbers say play Cease like they say play him today. And Cease had nothing less than 8 strikeouts a game versus this team. We get the freaking number that should be. So what? They juiced it, guys. Dylan Cease to the fucking moon today, guys. Like, at the end of the day, don't be surprised if we never, ever, ever see a 5.5 again. This is circumstance of situations, how we get to this 5.5. And then it falls into the situations of, oh man, the Royals aren't good. This is great for Dylan Cease. This is awesome. This is my favorite spot. And let's just keep talking, guys, because I've got bets left and right. We like freaking Cactus Jack over here. Bang, bang! 80 live, guys, 40 plus likes. Smash the like button if you like what you're hearing. And let's talk about my Dodgers and Freddy P, baby. Freddy Peralta, number 25 in the black book. I am 4-0 this year betting sides and totals versus my Dodgers. One time have I bet on them. Took them at a -1.5 one time. Dustin May on a back-to-back versus Arizona. And the other 3 times, guys, I have either took an unders or faded in team totals with my team because I know my team. And this is where we're going to get into a bet that I have that's not a prop, but we're still going to talk Freddy Peralta's K prop, which to me I think is also a good spot. Freddy Peralta versus the Dodgers. We're not going to talk last year's K percentage with him. If you watch this show, we know he was hurt last second half. We take in 2021 stats with this man because those are closer to what his stats are now to date. And that's why we've been able to capitalize the times, and we've played him quite a few times with Freddy Peralta. 2021, he had a 33% strikeout percentage and a 9.7 walk percentage. This year, he has a 28% strikeout percentage and an 8.5 walk percentage. Mind you, guys, he's played 3 teams that are on the elite level of not striking out this year, and he's already got a 28% strikeout percentage. I've learned my lesson. Boston is fucking good, guys. Like he struck out the side versus Boston and didn't sniff one more for the next 6 innings. Boston's one of those teams, guys, that you probably won't be seeing Sharpie on a K prop, but he's got up against Boston, he's got up against the Cardinals and the Mets, guys. So Boston held him down. He got 7 apiece versus the Cardinals and the Mets, guys, and that's saying something versus those 2 teams. So opening line was plus 110 at the over 6.5. Closing line is now plus 118. PrizePicks has him at a flat 6, whereas pitching outs under over 17.5. I love that spot today, guys. Actually, I may be going to bet that spot. I put that in for PrizePicks without even thinking, and we'll get to it as you'll see why I love this spot. Projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties for my Dodgers. 2021 K per 9, 11.9 at home, 12.6 on the road. Lefties, he had a 10 K per 9. This year he has a 9.8. Righties, he had a 13.5. This year he has an 11.5 K per 9 versus the right-handed side. Excuse me. Good old Freddy Peralta, guys, versus my Doyers. And yeah, I have a bet in this game and not a prop, but I think I am going to get on that over 17.5 outs personally. This spot by the numbers isn't the best spot for Peralta, but I know my Dodgers, guys. And one pitch we have struggled with over the past 2 seasons versus right-handed pitchers is a 4-seam fastball with high velocity. And Peralta has a very good 4-seam fastball. Taking the fact, guys, the Dodgers played an extra inning game last night on Sunday Night Baseball. So what time did they even get into their hotels into Milwaukee? 1 at best? Like 1 in the morning? Well, let me tell you guys, I've seen this story before. Last year, same spot, when we then traveled to Pittsburgh to go then shit the fucking bed and make Jose Quintana look like he was Jose Quintana from 5 years ago. So don't be surprised when you see these Dodgers bats dead asleep today. And that's why, guys, I am on my Dodgers team total under 4 at plus 104. Now, his K prop, it's over or nothing for Peralta, guys. He has faced 3 good teams at not striking out, like the Dodgers numbers show them. And he is 2-1 to the over. So the lean is over, guys, especially with tired bats the Dodgers will show up with today. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but if the Dodgers decide to send out more righties than lefties, then I'll have to give it a little more attention, guys. But definitely just a lean at the moment, and wouldn't be surprised if you see one of those gym type of games from Freddy Peralta today where he goes 7, 8, 9 innings today, and dominates. And yeah, now let's get into another guy we got to bet on, because it just seems like we just flow in bets on this freaking pre-birthday. This is just God giving me my birthday money is what it is. Number 46 in the black book, Zach Gallen versus the Marlinos. Last year, he had a 26.9 K percentage and a 6.6 walk percentage. This year, a 35.2 K percentage and a 3.1 walk percentage. Opening line was 7 plus minus 110, now at a plus 102. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5. Pitching outs, earned runs were not available. Projected lineup for your Marlinos: 5 righties, 4 left-handed bats. Last year, he had a 9 strikeout K per 9 at home, 9.8 on the road, 9.5 and a 9.3 versus the right-handed side compared to the left. This year, he's got a 13 K per 9 versus the left-handed side and an 11.2 versus the right-handed side. So why do these books hate Zach Gallen? Have we not made them respect him enough by now? So we get a 6.5 and a very bettable juice where he's hit 5 of 7 games to the over that number this year. And it was a 6.5 when we were on him the last time when he played the Marlins, when he just sat down 11 fishes. So why are we getting minus 110, Sharpie? Well, if we take it back like I like to take it back and how the books do, they just don't go off of this year alone. He has a 60% win percentage to the last 10, guys, which to me that warrants a minus 110 to 130 line. And so why is the line going to the plus to the why is it lower than that then, Sharpie? Well, we've talked about it on this show, guys. There's an Arias text, guys. We've talked about him plenty of times, adjusting guys' juice, sometimes a damn number, sometimes, guys. So the Arias tax is real, and the books use it. So they could not put him at a 7.5 plus 140, guys. The books just don't do that. No, they don't. When do you see a plus 140 on a guy's strikeout prop? So the adjustable line, if you actually take it back to last year, like the books do, bam, that's where it's at. It should be a 6.5 minus 120. The juice is taken off strictly because of Luis Arias in that lineup, guys. So let's talk about it, guys. Either way, guys, Arias or not, I'm on Gallen over 6.5 minus 106. The Marlins numbers are bad. They're walking bottom 3 in the league while striking out at a 25.6% clip and bottom of the barrel in all hitting categories. This man is a great spot, and the books just don't know what to do with him. But I do, and it's over and out, fellas, guys. Gallen has played 5 teams since last season with a K percentage of 25 or worse, averaging 8.6 strikeouts a game in those spots. When I speak of wiggle room, there's 2.1 of wiggle room, baby. So let's wiggle on some Gallen today, guys. So now I have a lot of action today. So I had to stay off the other side of this matchup. But I've got a theory that the black book has been just spitting at me right now, guys. And this theory is now 5-0. So the D-backs numbers say they're elite versus left-handed pitching. And they've got Braxton Garrett at a 3.5 juice to minus 140. Now, I get why he's juiced to a minus 140, guys. It's because who he's played the last freaking 5-6 games. And you can't freaking cap who a man plays. Braxton Garrett started the year facing the Mets after seeing the Mets 3 fucking times in spring training. Like, okay, then he had to see him on a doubleheader, and he hit him for 7. And then he went out versus Arizona, guys. We bet him that day. He got us the 5. He was at 4.5. And then he had to play Cleveland, guys, who don't strike out. They're actually legit elite numbers where Arizona's bogus numbers. Their numbers say they're elite, but they're not. And that's what I'm getting at right here, guys, is every lefty in my book who's faced Arizona versus the so-called elite numbers, including Braxton Garrett, is 5-0 to the over, not including back-to-backs. Clayton Kershaw had 9. Julio Urias had 6. Rogers had 7. Braxton Garrett had 5. Oh, and they wanted to put a 5.5 at plus money on Mackenzie Gore the other day. He went out there and put a 9-piece on these mother truckers. So I am not sold on these guys. Braxton Garrett is the 5th guy on my list of those 5 guys. And out of all the action I had in, I had to let that one go. He was the final cut. I had to throw it out there for you guys, though, guys. I think he goes out there and deals. And he may be worth a shot at like 6-7 at like a quarter unit, guys. And that may be the way I go with that. And just take him up for a long, big shot. Not risk too much money on it, but get a nice payback. You know what I mean? Because this right here might be another bet, and we need a lineup for this, guys. And that's why I couldn't pull the trigger on Braxton Garrett, because we've gone through it, and I'll recap it at the end. We have 85 live, only 46 likes. Smash the like button, fellas. I don't ask for much. I give you my bets. I give you freaking hours and hours of information packed into about 30, 45 minutes on a Monday. All I ask for is a damn like button to be hit. So let's talk Logan Gilbert versus the Rangers. Number 43 in the black book. 22.7 K percentage last year with a 6.4 walk percentage. This year, 29.6. He's jumped it up a lot, guys. And he's actually cut that nice walk percentage down to even better, 5.2. Opening line was a 7+ minus 110. He's now at a plus 108. PrizePicks has him at a 6. Hits allowed under over was at a 5. Projected lineups is 5 lefties, 4 righties. K per 9 last year, 2022. It don't even matter, guys, because he's a new man. let's just talk about 2023. He has an 11.3 K per nine versus the left-handed side and a 10 K per nine versus the right-handed side. Last year, he did only have a 7.4 K per nine versus the right-handed side. So he's bumped that up strictly because we know by watching the show, the man's got a nasty splitter that he's added to his arsenal. So, can anybody tell me who's 7-0 to the over on their K props this year? Okay, guys, obviously it's Logan Gilbert. And man, I thought maybe we'd get a 5.5 juice because of the past history versus these Rangers. But the books learned their lessons last week, dropping him to a 5.5 off of past history versus the A's. And we went and got paid again. So, yes, we get the line where it should be at 6.5. And when I wrote this, guys, like I said, it came out at -110. And I wrote this and then put the lines in after. I capped it for +110 at the 6.5. And that's where we get it at right now, guys. So when I made my line, guys, it was about 10 cents off, depending on what book you look. But now it's where it should be. Past history says fuck no. 4 games last year versus the Rangers when all the K percentage numbers were at 23.5 or higher, guys. So at least it said, at least look at it, guys. And he didn't do so hot versus these Rangers, guys. He was 1-4 to the over 6.5 last year. Not so great. He pitched well, but the strikeouts weren't there. 6 innings, 4 Ks, 6 innings, 7 Ks, 5 innings, 4 Ks, and 6 innings, 5 Ks. So that's where I thought where we maybe get a 5.5, guys. He only hit 1 of 4 to the over 5.5 last year, let alone the 6.5. And we get a 6.5 because of this man being this man. And it's warranted, guys. So I get it. I get it. This is not the man from last year, guys. Like we talked about, this man has added this elite splitter to his arsenal, which makes him more of a monster than he already is. And he's dominated lefties 2.2 K per nine last year and 1.3 better this year, guys. So I've seen the Rangers load up to 7 left-handed bats versus a pitcher before. They did it versus Garrett Cole, guys. If they even put 5, I will be there. I will be there, guys. But I need to see some lefties at the end of the day. Anything more than 5 is a bonus. I know they're projecting 5, but give me more than 5, guys, so I could just kick back and relax. Yes, their hitting numbers are legit right now if you want to go look at the Rangers' hitting numbers, but their walk and strikeout numbers are not. Good pitching beats good hitting, and Logan Gilbert is a fucking stud, guys. So we had a big card to talk today on the Balking Dead, guys. If you're just tuning in for the recap, do me a favor, hit the like button. It really does help our algorithms. First guy we talked about is our favorite rookie on this show, besides Taj Bradley, and that's Tanner Bibee of the Cleveland Guardians. And I'm on his over 5.5, -102, and had to wait for lineups. And even though the numbers said this is a great spot from the gods, I wanted lineups and I wanted at least 5 right-handed bats. And by the time the show started, they gave us those 5 right-handed bats. So we've got a team not hitting, team not walking, team striking out, and a lineup that favors a 4-pitch elite pitch pitcher. So Tanner Bibee, we're going for 3-0 for Team Balking Dead. Then we got into Shane McClanahan, guys. And I am on the over 6.5 -120. And to be frank, the numbers say hell no on this one. The Orioles are walking above league average. They're not striking out. They're best in the league over the last 200 plate appearances. Elite numbers. When I say elite, I mean elite. And McClanahan faced 6 teams since last year with elite numbers, 3 of them being this year, going 5-1 to the over 6.5, averaging 9.2 strikeouts a game in this spot. McClanahan is a guy I can bet, unlike me being a cuck last week when the spot said no, and I still ran up trusting some bombs. No, If I'm going to buck the system where it is right now, guys, where the numbers say no, I need to buck it with my hogs. So fair warning, numbers say no. I'm riding my hog, and he averages 9.2 in this situation. 5-1 to the over 6.5. So give me some Shane McDaddy-o over 6.5. Then we get into, guys, what I would say, but be safe, is the drop your fucking mortgage bet of the day, guys. It's Dylan Cease over 5.5. Minus 130 is where I got in. He's now minus 148. Pay the juice, guys. I don't give a damn. And I've even told people to take them up a half if you like. If you're into ladders, this is the man to ladder today. Let's talk about it, guys. We finally get ourselves a 5.5. And I had to swallow some juice technically at the minus 130. I had the line to be an even. And if they wanted to tax me for the Royals and his past history, it would be minus 130 to minus 150. And they put it at minus 130. So I got in there like swimwear. This is a smash spot of smash spots for our guy. He's not had some good matchup, guys. He's had a back-to-back involved. This will probably be the first and the last time this man gets a 5.5. And the fact it came up versus the team he owns and a team that's having a problem walking, which can be the problem for our man Dylan Cease. I've got him for 8+ strikeouts in this spot, guys, reminding the world who the fuck he is. One of the premier strikeout pitchers in the game. Then we talked about our boy Freddy Peralta, guys, and it's just a lean, but it's over or nothing. The Dodgers numbers do not say play it, but my team will struggle versus a person who has a good four-seam fastball, who throws it with high velocity, and that's one pitch this man does have. Taking the fact that my Dodgers just played extra innings on Sunday night, had to travel to Milwaukee, and yeah, lose 2 hours in the time of doing it, guys. So I had to take advantage another way. And I'm looking at his outs too after I've heard myself break it down and listen to myself. If his outs are 17.5, I've got to check it out. And that may be the play as well. But I took the Dodgers team total under 4 at plus 104, guys. I seen it last year, guys. And I wouldn't be surprised if Peralta has one of those games where it's like, what the fuck just happened to the Dodgers? Well, at least you heard it here, guys. Don't put too much into the next day, guys. But if Dave Roberts wants to load up some right-handed bats, he may force my hand on Freddie P's over. The next guy we got in, guys, we got another bet coming, and Sharpie, gee, man, I told you this, God paying for my birthday this week. So let's talk about it. Gallen over 6.5 strikeouts. I got in at minus 106. And what first was a line I had to sleep on, guys, just to make sure no fishy shit was going on and that I was right about the juice. And I wanted to make sure no other books popped up with 5.5, guys. If that happened, I would have cried and ran. Now, when I was talking with my guy Spin Doc this morning, he's like, man, Gallen 6.5 seems trappy. I tell him what I think, this, and that. And he goes, bro, you're right. I says, yes, I know. Let's go. So this is my theory, and it works out more often than not, guys. They do not respect Zach Gallen. Yeah. He's hit 5 of 7 games this year to the over 6.5. Why is it minus 110? Yeah. Books don't just go off of this year, guys. Over his last 10 games, he has a 60% win percentage to the over 6.5. He has a 40% win percentage to the over 7.5. You take in the Arias tax, which we talk about all the time, 40 cents in juice. There is no way they're going to give us a plus 150, 140 on an over 7.5, guys. They just don't give us those numbers on K props. So 6.5 minus 120 was the line that I actually made for the man. And then the Arias tax comes in to where you get him around even or plus money, guys. At the end of the day, it's cool. I get it. I seen Arias strike out twice the last 2 days. So not saying I get one from him today, but if I do, that's just a bonus, guys. I'm taking in their numbers. I'm taking in what Zach Gallen's done versus these teams. And I talk about over 1.5 strikeouts of wiggle room, guys. He has averaged 8.6 strikeouts in 5 games over the last 2 seasons versus teams with a 25 K percentage or worse. This team has a bad K percentage. They're not walking, and they're sure as hell not hitting, guys. So all due respect, guys, one day these books will respect Gallen, and they've done it since last year. They've always put this guy's numbers low. They were putting him at 90% win percentages last year, trying to set traps with this guy, and this dude would blow through it, 3-4 strikeouts. This dude is one of the elite pitchers in the game since he's been in the league, and he's talked about it himself, guys. Yeah, since he's been in the league, he has talked about being one of top 10 every year in the Cy Young. That's what his goal is every year. I need to make the top 10 list. And he has every single year. So one day this guy will win a Cy Young. He is a fucking legit pitcher. But until then, let's get into the last guy on the board. And that last guy on the board, guys, is freaking El Gerbato, Logan Gilbert, guys. And this is simple for me, guys. He is the best person on this show for K-Prop. 7-0 to the over this year. And he gets a good matchup by the walk and K percentage numbers. But if you look at the hitting numbers, those are what could put him into some trouble. Well, good pitching beats good hitting, guys. And at the end of the day, I will have him on my card if I get more lefties in the lineup once the lineups come out. More lefties, the better. 5 at minimum for me, personally. Then, guys, we had to talk about another side, guys. Call me crazy, call me whatever, but I had to pass on Braxton Garrett today. The numbers scream run with Arizona, but let me tell you, guys, numbers are like lawyers. They don't necessarily lie to you. They just don't tell the whole truth, guys. And the D-backs numbers say they're elite at not striking out, and that they have been all year. Well, 5 lefties in my book, including Garrett, has hit their overs versus the D-backs not being on back-to-backs when the numbers said no every time versus those guys. So I'm going to say their numbers are fraud. They got their numbers off of a bunch of bums because I don't track bums, guys. So every freaking good lefty has dominated. He was the final cut, and I just had to let him go simply because, yes, the numbers say no. And I trust McClanahan a lot more than Braxton Garrett. But I think he's in a spot to where he shines. If he does, that just lets us know Luzardo, we'll see you tomorrow, baby. Talked about it, guys. If we got 75 likes and retweets on the pinned post, we talk about 2 other pitchers. We got close, so I ain't going to be a cack. Nestor Cortez, guys, gets the Oakland A's, who by the numbers, they're not walking and not striking out, but also have middle of the pack hitting numbers. But let's be real. Who have they faced from the left-handed side in that time? No one in my book, guys, so I can't even put those mediocre hitting numbers into anything to me, guys. Nestor Cortez is a good pitcher. He's actually an elite pitcher at home where he is at today, guys. They put his K-prop 6.5 and plus money, but I'd look at his outs over before I bet his K-prop over, guys. This guy will pitch to contact or he'll get his strikeouts when needed. He tends to dominate shitty teams and go deep. So I think this man goes deep. I'd look towards his pitching outs before his K-prop. Personally, I think these A's middle of the pack numbers are as fraudulent as D-backs versus lefties. So, yeah, Hunter Brown is at 5.5 plus money versus the Angels. And by the numbers, guys, they're not walking, they're not striking out, and they're crushing the ball top 7 in every category. But once again, who have they faced in that time? The only guy I tracked they faced in the last 15 days was Nathan Eovaldi, guys, and he went 8 strong innings versus these power bats of the Halos. So good pitching beats good hitting, and I do expect a bounce-back game after being taken to the woodshed last week versus the Giants. The only way I could look at Hunter Brown, guys, is the over. It's just a lean, but they are projected 7 right-handed bats where he does average a 4K per 9 higher than he does from the left-handed side. And if you look at the Angels' numbers, they've been crushing. They've been hitting, but who've they hit? And shout out to my man Noli Knows for the nugget I'm about to drop you. Do you know how many home runs Hunter Brown has given up in his career? How about 0, guys? Granted, 6 games this year, 3-4 games last year and out the pin. Still, the fact is, when these guys do hit this guy, they're not squaring him up, guys. So I expect a giant bounce back day from Hunter Brown, and the amount of righties in that lineup just tell me it's either over, or nothing, guys. So appreciate you all for tuning in. 60-something likes before I go. You guys rock out with your cock out. Appreciate you all. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks, so if you haven't, go on over there. Use promo code PubSports. Get a match deposit up to 100, minimum of 25 by simply using that promo code PubSports. Smash the like on your way out. Go hit the retweet and let's have us a freaking day. It's Monday, fellas. Monday is the start of a great week, guys. So appreciate you all for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show is sponsored by Big Show Picks and on Pub Sports Radio. Some say we be pubbing. I say pubbing we be, but I fire fuckers.
Keep firing, assholes!
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here. Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win and what